Hey guys, it's Emma back again with another book review. So, this is The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and no, this is not a dieting book, okay? So, if you think that it is, it's the complete opposite. This is a psychological thriller. So, let me give a little background. The book is $15.99. I found it at Barnes & Noble. It is actually a Korean book, and it's been translated to English, and it has been one of the best books in 2016, like one of the best international books. So, yeah, winner of the Man Booker International Prize. It's also literally exactly like 198 pages. I read this book in 3 hours. And it has 3 different parts to it. There's the first part, second part, third part. Each one is a different person's point of view on this one lady. This lady right here. So this lady, Young-hee, she is having really bloody, really terrible dreams and decides to purge herself from it by becoming vegetarian. And so she's like this normal lady. Her husband is like, what the hell? And throws a big fit about it. And, I mean, she is acting pretty strange. Young-hee is acting kind of weird, and not really talking, not really sleeping, and not really eating anything. So, he notices this change in her, and is freaked out by it, and he tells her family. They all turn against her, basically, and it leads her down this really dark and depressing path to where her life changes forever. So, oh my god. I don't want to like give away any spoilers, but if you like psychological thrillers, you need to read this. I was on my toes because first it's in the point of view of her husband, who is an asshole, and it's really weird to see his point of view, because then you feel bad for her. But then, after it's her point of view, it's her brother-in-law's point of view, when you're, like, confused, but then you kind of get to know more of the world, and then finally, it's in her sister's point of view, and you're like, oh my god. So, it's so dark. And it honestly made me not want to eat any food, because it was really disturbing. A good disturbing. Like, if you want to read a really disturbing book that puts you on, that makes you really uncomfortable and question a lot of things, The Vegetarian by Han Kang, you need to read it. Like, first off, short book, fairly cheap, $15. It's from another culture, which it's already kind of opening your eyes to the extreme patriarchy kind of in this South Korean world. It's also in the past, but it ties you in with nature, it ties you in with animalistic ties, it ties you in with like familial relationships, husband, wife, but there are some scenes, this Young-hee literally goes through so much. I don't know how she dealt with it and just turned off all of her emotions, but her husband is a really disgusting guy. Her brother-in-law is really creepy. Her sister is just more and more complicated, which is so interesting because the story is about the vegetarian, but we don't even see her point of view. Her point of view is not even in this book. You look at her in this book and you're like, who is that? Like, oh my god, she's changing, and she changes a lot. So, honestly, the more you get into the book, the crazier you feel, which is weird. Like, I felt like I was going crazy alongside them, since it was in the other people's point of view. Like, you weren't the main character. It's like the main character, you didn't even see the main character's point of view. There was none. She was just the vegetarian. She was just the person going through all this pain and then causing distress in people. I classify a good book by it making me ask questions and making me think about it for the rest of the day. And I finished this book in the morning, about 12:30, so afternoon, whatever. I don't think it's gonna leave me for a while. It truly was disturbing, creepy, educational, but there was just this sense throughout, like, of purity, but like distorted purity, and it was so weird. I don't even know how to explain it, how to put it into words. The author is a beautiful writer. I know it's translated, so maybe we don't get the full message conveyed in Korean, but there were some scenes and there were the description and the feelings and everything, like the psychological terror. I've never read a psychological terror before. I don't know if that's apparent. I didn't really know what that meant, what I was getting into. I just wanted to read a Korean book, and this one was really highly rated. So, wow. I think the book is very insightful because you see all these people and how they're kind of turned towards or turned away from Hyun-hee. So you like, I have to take a stance too on how I feel about her and how she is, which is so weird. I've been saying that too much. I've been saying it too much. I think the psychological thriller has really gotten to me since it's new and I've never read something like it before. I really enjoyed it. I'm puzzled, absolutely puzzled, but I think it's a good puzzled. Like, I'm not left guessing, but the writing was immaculate, and my world was kind of just blown away. That's what it really was. And if you can get your world blown away in 200 pages, that's pretty damn good writing. And it did not feel rushed. This was a slow psychological build-up and breakdown, and you got to see it flow through other people's lives. Truly masterpiece. I don't know if I can say anything else without giving anything away. I don't feel like this book is a super spoilery book anyways, because it's the journey, not the end result. The end result, honestly, is not even anything. So the journey through the vegetarian is what's important. Pick this up if you enjoy psychological thrillers, if you want a little extra culture in there, drama, and crazy insane. It's also definitely an adult book. If you are below the age of 15, I don't want to... If you think you're mature enough for mental hospitals, sex scenes, blood, suicide, like, abuse, then sure, dive into it, but it's psychological, it's crazy. It, as a woman, makes me, like, a little bit terrified, but it's also powerful. So read at your own risk, and if you choose to risk it, you will enjoy it. I promise you there, okay? Alright, so go ahead, comment down below if you have read The Vegetarian. I feel like this is kind of a niche, but I want more people to read this. Please do. And tell me if you're gonna pick it up now, alright? See ya!